Michelle says your coffee is toxic, your protein bars are dangerous, your drink packets are poisoning you, but somehow, plot twist, right? Her MLM products are the miracle cure. It's so fascinating how that works because according to Michelle here, as we are going to see here in just a minute, Celsius causes obesity, Starbucks is inflammatory, Crystal Light is toxic, and apparently our cells need activating now. And I need everybody to know as you are seeing this video that this woman is now selling Nueva supplements as the cure-all in all of this. And she is going to compare blood vessels to Pitocin and inducing labor and contractions. And honestly, I don't think my nervous system was prepared for this live. So consider this your warning. And Ava, roll the intro. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Erin Bies. I'm an ACE certified personal trainer and a fitness nutrition specialist. And on this channel, we talk about MLMs, wellness misinformation, pseudoscience, manipulative marketing, and all the ways the internet tries to convince people their pantry is plotting against them. And today, we need to talk about Michelle because this live somehow managed to combine a multitude of things. Things like wellness fear-mongering, the Yuka app, hydrogen water, cell activation, mushroom coffee, grocery store fear-mongering, and oh, that's right, Nueva multi-level marketing companies' products. All into one, I don't even know what to call it. Chaotic smoothie? Content smoothie? Anyways, before we get into this, I want to make it really clear. I am all for people making healthier choices. If someone wants to drink more water, eat more protein, add fruits and vegetables, you guys know I am absolutely down for that. But there is a massive difference between, hey, here are some habits that may help support your health, as I often talk about here on my channel, and hey, everything at the grocery store is toxic except for the products that I sell. Because that is the vibe that we're working with today. So just go ahead and prepare yourself. Let's get into it.
Okay, so really quick, I've got 10 minutes. A lot of people are asking about...
She's got 10 minutes, but this was 14 minutes long. Got it. Got it.
Morning routine, what it looks like, what I do to not only optimize my metabolism, but exactly how to get immediate results.
Can you explain to the class what you mean by optimized metabolism? I would love to know. And I'm sure my audience would too. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like to know what she means by optimize your metabolism.
At where it is now and where you want to be. So I want to cover that really quick. I wanted to hop on. I have about 10 minutes before I do hop in to do a workout, right? We just moved all the furniture. We're in Destin. So first and foremost, when you wake up, always have next to your bed something that says water, right? Wake up to water. Even if you run downstairs, but I have a little sticky note. It says water. I always have water before my coffee. Water is how you burn fat.
What did she say? Water burns fat. So right out of the gate, we're starting with fake wellness science. Got it. Now, don't get me wrong. Water is extremely important. Hydration matters, but most people probably could benefit from drinking more water. I'm a fan of drinking water before I have my coffee. I just keep my water bottle next to my bed. And then I wake up and that's the first thing I do. Very easy. However, water itself is not some magical fat burning switch. Your body loses body fat primarily through being in a calorie deficit over a period of time, movement, strength training, sleep, consistency, not because your Stanley Cup activated your metabolism like a freaking electric car charger. What do you mean? And I feel like this is something that we see from online wellness influencers constantly. They take a normal healthy habit and then turn it into some magical mumbo jumbo weird claims attached to it. Drink more water. That doesn't sound that exciting. It's kind of boring. But when you have an influencer using this, oh, let's change it to water activates fat burning. And it's always going to be tied to their sales pitch every single time. If you want to, drink more water, just drink more water. You don't. Okay, y'all get it. Anyways.
So it turns the metabolism on. So half of your weight in ounces of water each day is how you're actually going to burn fat. That's one of the biggest things that's ever helped me. And if you're wondering what my background is.
Before she gets into her background, chances are, now this could be, could be a wild take. If you're drinking more water throughout the day, chances are you're probably not eating as many calories, meaning you're probably putting yourself into some kind of a calorie deficit. I know it's a wild thought, but let's hear what she has to say next. Y'all are going to riot when you hear this.
The only thing that I have in my background is I've listened to 40 plus Audible books.
Yep, you heard that right. Guys, she's not an expert, but she's an expert because she's listened to 40 audiobooks. Right.
Literally. I struggled with reaching my goals. Ended up going in for a full physical. My doctor was like, okay, well, everything looks great, but I can put you on a drug called metformin. Metformin is what treats...
Okay, question. Really quick question for the medical professionals that are watching this right now, if you are able and willing to answer this question. If her blood work looked great, why would her doctor be wanting to put her on metformin? This is obviously outside of my scope because I am not a doctor, but I am genuinely curious why, if her blood work looked great, why would her doctor want to prescribe her metformin? Let me know.
It's pre-diabetes, but it also can help people with weight loss who don't have diabetes. That was my rock bottom moment. I ended up getting a book, holy crap, Dr. James, The Obesity Fix. I went all in with that book on Audible. Every time I finish a book, a new recommendation comes up. So I've listened to 40 plus Audible books now. So that's a little bit about my background. So I'm not an expert.
Not the Audible degree program. And listen, I'm not saying people can't self-educate. I think that's extremely important. I think learning more about health and nutrition is so important for so many people, but listening to wellness audiobooks does not make someone qualified to give sweeping medical advice when it comes to, as we'll see here, cancer, diabetes, inflammation, blood sugar, hormones, and metabolism. And I really hope that throughout this video that people will notice how Michelle says she's not an expert, but then immediately positions herself as one. Because this is what we see from wellness grifters online. This is the tactic that we see, and they do it in this way so that, in my opinion, it lowers people's defense mechanisms. It creates this, I'm just a regular mom who discovered hidden knowledge that the medical system doesn't want you to know. And then somehow, by the end of her video, Starbucks is toxic, Celsius causes obesity, your cells need activating, and she's, of course, selling you the answer in her MLM supplement stack. It's amazing how we get there, right? Every single time.
I look at it as like when people talk about a certified surgeon versus a surgeon that's done the surgery 700 million times, right? Like, who do you want, the expert or the person that's got like that's how I look at it.
Well, you're looking at it wrong, because I want the expert. I want the person with the credentials that is allowed and board certified to be able to do the surgery, not somebody that's listened to 40 audiobooks. What a weird fallacy comparison here. You're trying to say, oh, you want somebody, maybe they're not board certified as a doctor, but they've done this surgery a million times. Are you trying to say that because you've listened to 40 audiobooks on, from the sounds of it, nutrition and metabolism, that makes you an expert? Credentials matter. Credentials matter. This is bizarre.
So water is half your weight in ounces of water each day. One of the best things you could ever do, especially
unless your doctor has told you to not drink that much water, then listen to your doctor and not somebody that's listened to 40 audiobooks. I can't.
Right now, like being in Destin, 90-minute timer. Every 90 minutes, you have a timer that goes off. It's on my phone. I stop, drop.
Do you also roll? Do you stop, drop, and roll at the same time? That might be a Gen X joke.
Drink for 15 seconds. I repeat that all day long. That's the best thing you could do for yourself right now, is set a 90-minute timer. Really quick, if you're using things like Mio and Crystal Light, I would cut them out immediately and get an app called Yuka. Y-U-K-A, you'll never forget me now. It's called Y-U-K-A, Y-U-K-A. It lets you scan foods and it tells you additives and carcinogens that are in your foods. You guys, we live in America. We are allowed to have additives and toxins and fillers in our foods, 100%. I never knew that. There's things in our foods that, yes, can cause cancer. It can cause skin disease. It can cause skin issues. It can cause high A1C levels. It can alter kidney, like I'm telling you right now. So get the Yuka app.
I can only imagine the rioting that is going to happen in the comments from that part of her video. Let's talk about the Yuka app, shall we? Because this is one of those apps that the wellness grifters online are turning into some sort of an emotional support FBI agent for what they are eating and drinking online. Now, I understand why people would use it. People are overwhelmed. They're trying to make healthier choices. That part I completely understand. But the problem starts when influencers use apps like this to turn food into some kind of a terrifying horror movie, because Michelle keeps using scary words and will continue to say things like toxins and carcinogens and additives without giving any actual context. And I think the context is what is extremely important here, because there's a difference between something has been associated with harm in certain situations and this crystal light is trying to assassinate you, because those are definitely not the same thing. And this is where I want to explain something in regular everyday language. Something can sound scary without actually being dangerous in normal amounts. For example, sharks. A shark is dangerous, sure. But there's a difference between a shark existing somewhere in the ocean and a shark actively swimming around in your bathtub. Also, just note that I'm a fan of sharks, okay? Just roll with me on this example. One of those is technically dangerous. The other is an immediate problem. Now, what is the likelihood that a shark would be in your bathtub? Not likely, not reality. But these are the types of scenarios that these influencers create online. They hear this ingredient has been linked to something scary in some kind of context, and suddenly everybody thinks that their drink packet is a biohazard. And that's just not how science works. I'm a fan of sharks, okay? Just to be clear. All right, let's get back to it.
Okay. There are recommendations at the bottom. So if you're like me and you're adding Neo or you're adding Crystal Light, at the bottom it'll give you a recommendation for a clean alternative. Carbonated water. As long as you scan it in the Yuka app and it works, you can use it. One of the things that I'll never stop using in my entire life of living is hydrogen in my water.
Oh, right. Because that's one of the products. Now, it's not lost on me the irony that she is talking about all of these products and how dangerous they are while also shilling a multi-level marketing company supplement that probably isn't, is it even listed in the Yuka app? I don't even know, but the irony is not lost on me. I find it actually hilarious, to be honest with you guys.
Okay, hydrogen is molecular. Hydrogen in the body has your blood flowing 10 times more for 10 hours. That's really freaking sexy. Drop a 1 in the comments if you want to have your blood flowing 10 times more and 10 times faster. Maybe you're like, well, what's that gonna do? Well, I want you to think right now of your performance and energy. I want you to think right now of your brain fog and your food, your clarity in your mind. And I want you to think of right now, like, immunity support, because more blood flow. And I want you to think of, lastly, the most important, ready? It's not brain fog. It's not the performance and recovery. It's literally fatigue. So your Celsius drink, that literally the number 1 ingredient that says what it is.
Hold on, before she gets into the number 1 ingredient, did she just say hydrogen makes your blood flow a second ago? Hydrogen makes your blood flow 10 times more for 10 hours. Michelle, what does that even mean? 10 times more of what exactly? Because this is one of the biggest red flags in this type of content that these people put out, vague science sounding statements. Now, there actually is some very early research looking into molecular hydrogen and things like recovery and inflammation and oxidative stress. However, and that this is a big however, early research does not mean that your bloodstream turns into the Fast and Furious franchise for 10 hours. That's not what the science is saying. God, they always do this too. They find one tiny study, one ingredient, one interesting concept, and suddenly it becomes this changes everything. No, that is not how this works. And also, Michelle, your blood is already flowing. If your blood isn't flowing, we have a much bigger problem. I don't think we're going to be concerned about fatigue at that point.
The number 1 ingredient says inside of Celsius, leads to becoming overweight, leads to high A1C levels, alters glucose levels, hydrogen in your water, if it's cellular.
Now, the number 1 ingredient, according to Celsius's webpage, in their product is water. And maybe she's talking about what it's showing on the Yuka app. Let me play devil's advocate there, but I just finished the sentence, you know what I mean? Give the context. I may circle back and talk about that a little bit more. We'll see.
Molecular, you have to make sure you get one that's in the form of crystallization for absorption.
Oh, right, because the only option, the only clean option is going to be her product, right? Come on, they are so predictable and so wrong on so many levels.
You guys see, I have a sachet, mix it in my water, put a lid on it, it pops, tells me it's ready, It turns bright yellow within 5 minutes. First it's clear, I drink it, I'm on it right now, okay? Drop in the comments the word hydrogen. I'll share the one that I get, but I want you to see for yourself why that one is the best. It's because of the science, clinicals, third-party validation, and the cleanliness behind it. If you're just purchasing one from TJ Maxx and Target at the Target checkout, it's not comparable, right? I used to do that until I came across the Yuka app, until I listened to 40 plus Audible books. I screenshotted your name. I'll send you that video. It's called Nitro. And what's amazing is you're guaranteed the Nitro experiment. So you take it, you feel.
What? You're guaranteed the Nitro experiment? Now, maybe it's just me. Maybe she meant experience, but I'm not trying to be anybody's experiment when it comes to a supplement that I'm putting in my body. It's just me.
Feel it instantly. It's in your body for 10 hours. So what it does basically is it dilates the blood vessels. You know how a woman kind of gets dilated? They get dilated when they give birth with Pitocin. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of dilating the blood vessels 10 times with clean energy, right? Because right now a lot of people are talking about, you know, cortisol this and cortisol that. And it's like, okay, but people aren't using clean energy to do that. The second thing is obviously.
Hold on. Did OB just enter the chat? Not Michelle comparing blood vessels to active labor contractions through taking or being given Pitocin while selling hydrogen packets from Nueva. You've got to be kidding me. My nervous system was not prepared for this at all.
Protein I just had, okay? Chobani Greek yogurt and raspberries.
Love it.
You've got to be getting 30 to 40 grams of protein for breakfast, lunch, dinner. 40 grams is where you want to reach for because it's 120 grams. It's your desirable weight. So what do you weigh? If you're brand new to the show and you've never gotten the protein.
Did she just call her video on Facebook a show? You thought the same thing, didn't you? Okay, anyways. Let's keep going.
Team guide that helped me in many ways. If you drop new in the comments, Norma, I screenshotted your name. I'll send you that video on the hydrogen water. It's called Nitro.
Norma, don't do it, Norma. You don't need her guide. You don't need her MLM product.
Okay? If you literally have never, drop in the comments the word new. It is a guide that will lay all of this out for you. It'll make tons more sense. Gia, come. It'll make tons more sense than what it is that I'm saying. Okay? So your protein, your desirable weight in grams every day. Just
your desirable weight in grams per day. I don't think that's how that works. Okay, according to ACE, the American Council on Exercise, which is who I am certified through, along with the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, recommend a daily protein intake between 0.8 and 2.02 grams per kilogram, or 0.36 to 0.9 grams per pound of body weight. So I don't know, half of your, or what did she say? Your ideal body weight. I don't think that's the most up to date suggestion. So yeah, 0.8 to 2 grams per kilogram or 0.36 to 0.9 grams per pound is what the experts are saying.
Go to Google right now and be like, hey, I'm 5'7". What's my desirable weight? And it'll tell you, okay? That's the answer. There's 4.
That's not the answer for everybody. You shouldn't be getting health advice like that.
Calories in 1 gram of protein, 4 calories in 1 gram of carb, 9 calories in a gram of fat.
Correct.
Okay. So 150 grams of protein is 600 calories. 150 grams of fat is 1,350 calories. I used to think that cheese was a protein. It's a fat.
Well, but you also need fats. Fats are extremely important for hormone balance and things of that nature. So, you know, I don't know, maybe she's going to go into that, but it is important to have healthy fats in your diet.
Peanut butter, it's a fat. Seeds, chia seeds, nuts, they're a fat. Okay, avocado.
Chia seeds also have fiber.
Avocados, they're a fat. Olives, olive oils, they're a fat. I'm not saying that you have to have them, but I'm saying that they're very, very, very beneficial for you. Okay, so
I'm not saying you have to have them, but they're beneficial for you. Yeah, it's important to have. in your diet.
Like, I'm not saying you can't have them, but I'm saying for you to reach your protein goal, you need to be having 40 grams of protein with meals and snacks. It's 120 calories worth, okay? For protein.
It's not 120 calories worth. It's 120 grams if you're having 40 grams of protein 3 times a day. Maybe she just misspoke there. I don't know why, but let me just play devil's advocate, I guess. Maybe she just misspoke there.
If you end up going and getting bars and shakes, you can make sure you scan it in the YUKA app. Do you know how many people I know right now that up their protein? They up their protein. They literally up it. And all of a sudden they put weight on. Why? You guys are using things like Pure Protein Bar. I used to as well. It has a 0 out of 100 rating. There's additives and carcinogens inside of it that alter blood glucose levels.
Now, she keeps saying, wait, what did she just say? She's not saying carcinogen. Maybe I'm mishearing this, but I feel like she's mispronouncing that word. I mispronounce words all the time. It happens all the time. But if you're going to come on here and act like you're some kind of expert because you listened to 40 audiobooks, maybe get the terms correct at least? I don't know.
It leads to bone deterioration. Like, look in the Yuka app, please, dear goodness.
Wait a second. So you're saying that people that are taking Pure Protein bars it's causing bone deterioration? Does Pure Protein know that you're saying this?
So that's the protein component. If you end up getting that app and you notice in any way, shape, or form that you start to gain weight, or if you start to up protein and it's clean and you don't get results, you might need cell activation. Okay?
What? Wait, hold on. Time out, flag on the play, blow the whistle. What do you mean? If you start increasing your protein, I would also want to look at the rest of the macros and the breakdown of your macros and how many calories you're taking in. Because if you're increasing your protein, you're increasing your calories. If you gain weight, I'm almost wondering if you're eating in a surplus and that's causing the weight gain. What do you mean they might need cell activation? If they're eating a Pure Protein bar, increasing their protein, and they start gaining weight, what do you even mean? This cannot be for real.
Why did you just name all my favorite foods? LOL, Jackie, hi. Literally, cell activation might be something for you. It's the thing on my stories that I shake around and it's a little micro bead. That's something that you might need to get on to activate the cells. Once you reach your goal, you can get off.
This is pure MLM peak comedy right here. Would you hear stuff like this online? Would you hear cell activation? I hope all of us are asking which cells, how are they activated, compared to what, and how are we measuring the outcome, and what was the outcome? Because these phrases sound scientific while saying absolutely nothing specific. And I feel like that's intentional. The average person probably hears cell activation and thinks, oh, this is some advanced breakthrough in science. And anybody that has any kind of a science background, I'm sure, is thinking, can you just literally define anything you just said? Just anything. I cannot with these people.
As long as your regular food intake outweighs the additives, once you've learned about the Yuka app, you're going to maintain your results. I see it every day. Cell activation is the #1 thing to support the body and the cells, which are the short chain amino acids inside of your body. No one just, maybe you haven't heard of them. Yeah, if you drop cocktail in the comments or cell activation, I can send you 3 or 4 questions, okay? I can message you, ask you them, and then you'll have 3 videos. You'll know within 2 seconds, this is my formula. It's not a one size fits all. I usually have transformation stories of people that I share. It's like, this girl's menopausal, but her results. So make sure, you just drop cell activation.
We have officially reached the point where I'm just giggly because I can't believe Michelle put something out like this on the internet and is like, you know what? This is the one. This is the one. I'm going to sell all the nitro. I'm going to sell all the cell activation and the hydrogen water. I'm sorry. I can't.
And then the last thing I want to talk about in my morning routine is adding in, and then I'm going to hop off, is literally adding in right here 1 tablespoon of collagen, because protein is the most abundant thing made up in your body. Okay? So at 20, you start losing 1% of the most abundant protein, which is collagen. There's 5 types. This right here is a type 2. Each year after 20, you're starting to lose 1% of the type 2 collagen. If you look at the first ingredient listed, it's what you find the most of. That's type 2 collagen.
Right. See, now that advice, Michelle, where you said The first ingredient listed is the most abundant in that ingredient. If you would have looked at the Celsius website and pulled up one of their products, you would see that it's water.
Second thing listed, organic tremolo mushroom that mimics hyaluronic acid. You don't need to rub it into your skin. Make sure you're scanning in the YUKA app what you're putting on your.
Wait. I need to know, do any of you use the Yuka app? I'm genuinely curious. Is Nueva listed? Did they pay to be listed on the Yuka app? I mean, they paid somebody to try and have a copyright strike on my channel. So would I be surprised by that? No, not necessarily. I need to know. I'm not downloading the app. I don't know. Anyways, if any of you guys know, let me know in the comments. I would love to be enlightened.
Skin, because it's going into the bloodstream. Most of them have carcinogens or additive.
Carcinogens. Carcinogens is how she's saying that. Carcinogens. Carcinogens? Is she just saying it fast? Okay, listen, let me stop.
You have to remember, it works from the outside or the inside out.
Okay.
Organic tremolo mushrooms, you got the Moro Seal Blood Red Orange, which is the
Does she think people can read that?
fat burner that comes over from Italy. This is the only thing that you can get in the States that has the Moro Seal fat burner. It's a patent fat burner.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but you don't need a fat burner. They're not going to do anything significant. But again, that doesn't help Michelle with her bottom line here. A patented fat burner does not mean that it's effective. It just means that it's patented.
It's patent that 94% of users who use it, body fat composition, visceral fat, all of it goes.
Visceral. What is she pronouncing? Visceral fat? Isn't it visceral? I've always heard visceral. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What is this? 94% of users have experienced whatever she just said. I just feel like this should be another warning sign to people when they hear stuff like this online, because they'll say things like clinically proven, patented, third-party tested, science-backed, and it's always in the supplement and wellness, especially MLM spaces. Those words, I'm gonna say it again, do not mean that the products are automatically effective, high quality evidence or evidence-based in general, long-term outcomes and produce medically significant results. It doesn't mean that taking that product is going to give you these things or that it's effective.
Down. The 6% who don't get results, do you want to know why? They're inconsistent or they forget to take a tablespoon.
Right. So the people that didn't get results, they were inconsistent. Also, how very MLM of her. Because in MLM culture, if the product works, it's because the product is what's giving people the success. If your product fails, it's your fault. It's such a convenient and disgusting setup from these people in multi-level marketing companies. They want to take the credit for the product doing X, Y, and Z. If we're talking about weight loss, they typically pair it with changing your nutrition. Notice how she said, oh, you can get my free guide on how to get more protein in your day. They're typically changing how people are eating. They're typically changing the movement that people are getting. But oh yeah, it's the product, right?
Lastly, fenugreek, which supports the gut lining, okay? This is medical grade, proven through science, proven through
medical grade.
Clinical's third-party validation and clean, 1 tablespoon every morning, okay? Norma, I'll send you that video on cell activation. Drop in the comments the word collagen. I'll send you the video that introduced me to this specific one, but it took me 20
That dog is like, let me out of here.
to go through to find the best fit. Okay, this has all 4 in one. Okay, that's a full month supply. There's no dairy, there's no soy, it's gluten-free and 0 caffeine. So the average person thrives on 1 tablespoon. There's chocolate raspberry or chocolate mint. It goes in the fridge. You take 1 tablespoon, you're on your way. Okay, so the last thing is my greens, right? My alive greens. No grass, no fillers, right? You go to Target right now, you're in the checkout. Hi, Melanie. Ashley and I are getting ready to do a workout up here. All of a sudden, Ashley, come say hi to everyone. You put these in your water, you mix it, you go poop within 30 minutes, guys. Why? Our soils are different.
Oh yeah, Ashley. Yeah, I've covered her misinformation before.
Hi. Our soils are different here. She says hi. It's different. Soil's different. It's depleted. We don't have it. Literally 190%. So you take it, 30 minutes later you go to the bathroom. It's very dark green. There's no greens. There's no fillers. Actually, as a nutritionist, right? I was a girl that for 1 week gave up 6 cups of fruits and vegetables total to try this, and night and day how I felt. The girl who...
Why in the world would you give up eating 6 cups of fruits and vegetables, I believe she said a day, to take a greens powder? What a weird thing to say in 2026 on Beyonce's internet.
Introduced me from Australia. Do you know how deep and super their freaking potency of their greens are versus
Deep and super their greens and potency are over there. What is happening?
ours because of soil depletion? Yes. So you push this in the water, you drink it, 30 minutes later you go number 2, drop a live in the comments. I'll share the video with you.
Now, I don't know if having a bowel movement 30 minutes after taking a supplement, unless we're talking about like Metamucil or something along those, I don't, that seems a little odd to me. Is it Metamucil that I'm thinking of? Or is it something else? I don't know that I would want to take a supplement and then be in the bathroom. Oh wait, I already did that. It's called Prove It Ketones. Don't suggest that.
The science, clinicals, and third-party validation from the professional behind it is way better. Okay? So just drop that in the comments and I'll send that video to you. I'm gonna hop off. We're gonna go do that. The last thing is the coffee, the BOGO sale. Buy 1, get 1 free. Buy 2, get 2 free.
Okay, I'm done. I don't need to hear her sales pitch for the Nueva products. Listen, when you take a step back and you look at this, there is a very clear formula, in my opinion, that she is following that we see in the wellness grifting spaces, the MLM spaces, and it usually goes something like this. Step 1, convince people that normal products are dangerous. Step 2, make people afraid of ingredients that they don't fully understand. Step 3, position yourself as the person with the clean solution. And step 4, sell those supplements, aka clean solutions. That is the cycle that we see, and that's what we saw today on this video from Michelle, who is in Nueva. And listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make healthier choices. I'm for it. Y'all know that. But there is a problem when we see influencers online that are exaggerating science, misusing studies, fear-mongering over food, and presenting MLM supplements, or any supplements, in my opinion, as some sort of miracle solution, especially while speaking about things like diabetes and cancer, inflammation, hormones, and metabolism. So I hope that watching a video like this helps people to identify this when they're out in the wild scrolling social media and they come across an influencer trying to pitch you on their supplement. All right, you guys, let me know your thoughts down below because I feel like this video was quite the experience. Also, let me know if you want to see more videos just like this, breaking down wellness and pseudoscience and the way apps like Yuka are being used online, because there's, I feel like, a lot to unpack. And now I need to know if Nueva is on that app. I'm genuinely curious. So maybe a deep dive? I don't know. Anyways, if you loved today's video, please, if you would, make sure that you are subscribed, like the video, share it with somebody whose aunt is currently scanning a rotisserie chicken at their local grocery store with the Yuka app. I'm just kidding. If you like the Yuka app, do your thing. But share this with somebody. Make sure you turn the bell notification on so you don't miss any time I upload anything. Thank you for being here. Yes, I was in a silly, goofy mode. Yes, there was sarcasm. Yes, there was some laughter. That's what we do here, okay? Thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.